Yeah. I know it's been a minute. Happy New Year, everybody. I haven't seen everybody since the New Year. You know who this is? This is Miss Gabby of the Gabie Show up at DBNEBMUsic. Got DJ Kevin Stock over there. Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year, sir.
Hey, Happy New Year. We're going to have we always have a great show. But our first show for the year for 2014 is going to be a little different. We always have the singers, the authors, I don't count them, but all kinds of different people up. This is the first time, because this is like a hobby of mine, this is going to be an extremely fun show. Yes, very, very fun. We have Miss REGINA McRAE.
Hi, guys.
CEO, founder, and owner of Grandma's Secret.
I like that CEO.
CEO. I just added that. I gave her that CEO, founder and owner. Yeah. Of Grandma's Secret Bakery. So we're going to be talking brownies. We're talking sweets today. We're talking fresh sweets. We got brownies in the house. Everything I shouldn't be eating is in the brownies. Yes, with the whipped cream. I had one without the whipped cream.
Ken, I told you you want to get addicted. Look at it.
Just as sweet as ever. So we're going to be talking sweets, treats, where you can find her, how she. We're just gonna go in. You know how we do it over here. So welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. This is an honor. I've watched your show over the years, and I'm in good company. I see the superstars that come through here. So thank you so much.
No, absolutely. I'm excited. As I was saying, my mother and I, as we were talking, as we were setting up, that this is a 20-year business for you.
Yes, this is my 20th year. Praise God.
Amen.
20 years.
20 years.
Scratching and clawing. It's not easy being an African-American woman, self-employed, not having any money.
Right.
You know, it takes money to run a business. It takes money to start a business. And you don't always know that. I tell people I didn't go into business. I fell into business. It was totally an accident. So it wasn't like I sat back and I said, you know what, I want to start my own business. How much do I need? Let me save up $20,000 or $30,000, take out some credit card loans, cash in my 401k, get some money from some relatives. This is how much I'm going to need for marketing and advertising, etc. It didn't happen that way. I started my business with $10 and 9 pies. Wow. And it's 20 years later.
And you've done well. You can put your
You need more than $10 nowadays. Okay. In my early years, I was so enthusiastic. I was so passionate about what I did, and that passion translated. And people felt my passion, and they were willing to be supportive of what I was trying to do. So big up to Kev's Copy Shop in Harlem. In my early years, I would pay him in cheesecake and peach cobbler, and he would make copies of all of my flyers for me.
Barter and trade works amongst the people.
Yes. I had a friend that loved strawberry shortcake, and she would let me use her computer and print out the flyers. I had so many people that were supportive of what I was trying to do, and I just never gave up. I had no car. I was on the train with a shopping cart with pies, and you would hear the shopping cart wheel squeaking. I used to sit outside in the Harlem Market over on 116th. Now it's condos. And sell pie by the slice for $1. Then I bought a station wagon, and you could only make, I think, left turns because something was wrong. And if you made a right turn, the car would cut off. And the carburetor was broken, so you had to put your finger on the carburetor and have someone else turn the car on. And then the front locks were broken, so you had to climb in the back of the station wagon and climb over the seats and get into the driver's seat and unlock the door, and then only make left turns.
And then through all of that,
I never gave up. I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing because I felt like my product was so good. What happened is people would say, I tell people, I'm just delivering until I open a shop. And people would say, I don't care if you open a shop. I want you to still deliver to me. And I was so enthusiastic, and I was reading Inc. magazine and Fortune magazine and Black Enterprise and all that. And the thing they always emphasized was find a niche and fill it. And I realized, nobody's delivering, goods. You can get pizza delivered, you can get Chinese food delivered. So I like this idea. So I started calling myself Home Baked Goods to Go. And it's now for the taste that really delivers. That's my slogan. But it's still the same thing. And so with the advent of the internet and everyone's jumping into business, it's a little easier now than it used to be. Other people are calling themselves, delivery companies. But you are limited in what you can order.
Right.
So yeah, they'll deliver if you order an expensive cake. I'll deliver brownies. I'll deliver cupcakes. I'll deliver a peach cobbler.
Right.
I'll deliver a wedding cake. I tell people, from a peach cobbler to a wedding cake, where's the bake that you choose? You're getting excellent customer service. You're getting quality products. You're getting stuff that's as fun to eat as it is to look at. I've established a reputation. The passion is still there. I have not lost it. After all these years, I get excited when someone calls me and they tell me, what they have in mind, and I'm like, oh, I have just the cake for you.
Right.
Give me your email and I'll send you a few pictures.
Right.
And then they call me back and they say, you know what, I really want to use you because you sound like you really love what you do, and I know that's going to show in my dessert.
It not only does it show in the creativity of the product, but it shows in the taste. Our people.
Put my elbow in it, not my foot, my elbow. This is my grandmother's name. And when I say grandma's secrets, people say, what is her secret? My grandmother would always say, baby, the secret to a good cake is such and such. The secret to a good pie is such and such. She taught me the basics, so no matter what the recipe is, I make it mine.
Right.
So I can go on the internet and someone say, have you ever made? No, but let me do a Google search and I'll call you right back.
Right.
And then I look at the recipe and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to spice that. I'm going to jazz that up.
Right.
I'm going to do a little this and a little that.
Right.
And so she taught me the secrets. Then the biggest secret was love.
Right.
My grandmother loved to cook. She loved to bake, but that was how she showed us love. Oh, baby, come on over. Granny got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
We actually got a picture of her up on the thing.
Yes, that's my grandmother. She died in 1976, but she lives on in my heart and in my business.
Yeah.
And my mother looks exactly like that. And if you saw my mother, you wouldn't know which one was grandma, which one was my mother.
So this really started with your grandmother in Brooklyn, in the kitchen growing up.
Okay, so I'll take it back,
Right.
because we have a few minutes. I was precocious,
Right.
which is a nice way of saying hyperactive. And I talked at a mile a minute and moved at a mile a minute. And so when I visit my grandmother, I would drive her crazy. She had like 26 grandkids, and she could deal with 25 of them all together rather than just me.
Wow.
So when I went over there, she would look for things for me to do, because as long as I stayed occupied, I was fine.
Right.
So she would have me take the hammer and break open the coconut and then grate it.
Right.
For her coconut layer cake. And she'd have me peel the peaches and slice them for her peach cobbler, and then I'd suck on the peach pits. And in those days, we used to put the pie crust in a plastic bag from the cleaners and roll it out. And that was so much fun for me. And so I would just watch her, and then after a while, I was like, Mommy, can I go help Grandma?
Right.
And I'd come over and I'd say, are you baking today? Because I can help. Remember, you taught me. And so, after a while,
Baking or not, you come over, she's got to bake,
right? And so, but I was 7 and 8.
Right.
And could bake a sweet potato pie, peach cobbler, coconut layer cake. And then I'd watch her, with the fancier cakes.
Right.
And by the time I was maybe 10, Easy Bake Ovens came out. So
I remember
I just dated myself.
Right. That's all right. I remember those.
And I wanted, now you got, red velvet cake mix. And listen, it was that little yellow cake with the chocolate frosting.
Yes.
And I wanted an Easy Bake Oven so badly. And my mother, she cracked me up. She didn't want me playing with electricity.
Okay.
So she would let me bake in the oven. And to this day, I can't figure out, you were afraid of me and electricity, but not me and gas.
Right.
So my mom would let me bake that little yellow cake and put the chocolate frosting on it, but it was a real cake.
Right.
So now I'm obsessed with baking cakes. So every time my mom wasn't looking, I was trying to put a cake in the oven. Now, who's my age? Who goes way back? We had an egg beater. We used to take the heavy cream and beat the heavy cream and make whipped cream.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
And we didn't have a mixer. We had that wooden bowl with the wooden spoon.
Yes.
And then I loved licking the spoon and licking my fingers. I was obsessed, and all I wanted to do was bake. So that stayed with me.
Okay.
Now, my mom's all about, getting good education and, being able to make a living and take care of yourself. So I had to go to college, and I wanted to be a lawyer, and I majored in political science, and I got my paralegal certificate, and I was on my way. I was going to be a female black Clarence Darrow. Okay. And then life got in the way.
Right. And
in the meantime, now I'm still baking for holidays and making people's birthday cakes, and my husband would leave the house. I would sneak a cake in the oven because I'm supposed to be watching my weight, so I hide the cake or the pie so he didn't know I would make it. Because it wasn't even so much about eating it.
Right.
I wanted to bake it. And so now fast forward, midlife crisis. I never got on to law school. I'm paralegal 12, 15 years. I'm miserable.
Okay.
I'm not being appreciated at my job. I'm not living to my potential. I'm not living my God-given purpose in life.
Right.
And I'm getting up in the morning, hands shaking, my chest is caving in. I was living in Harlem and worked in Midtown. I couldn't get on the train. I had to take the bus down St. Nick, up 125th, over to Lexington, 3rd Avenue to 56th Street. I couldn't get on the train.
Yeah.
And then I want to throw up. And now I'm in the office, my hands are shaking. I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
And I say, you know what? I can't spend the rest of my life like this. Now, I had eaten a little too much of my sweets, so I had taken up running.
Okay.
And I'm jogging. I get the bright idea, let me jog in Central Park. I'm jogging. I meet other runners, and they're obsessed. Their obsession is running.
Right.
So now they got me. So I've got two obsessions now. And all they're talking about is, oh, you're going to run the marathon, but in runners talk is, are you doing November?
Okay.
And anybody who runs knows the New York City Marathon is in November. So when they say, are you doing November?
Right.
I'm not running 26 miles. So, of course, I did.
Right.
So I did my first marathon, and it must have been 1994. And now I'm on top of the world. I really, not only did I run 26.2 miles, but as I crossed the finish line, I stayed to dance and welcome other people who were struggling to come across. I was so hyped. So I couldn't stop talking about the marathon. The Road Runners Club did a Christmas party.
Okay.
For the runners, and everyone had to bring a dessert. In the meantime, one of my running buddies had actually, my first customer, big up to Christine, had bought sweet potato pie because, what was it, on 7th Avenue, not Make My Cake, Better Crust.
Okay.
Had a line going down Strivers Road. People were striving to get a pie.
Right, right.
So I gave her one of my pies. He's like, why do you have so many pies? I don't know.
Right.
So she put $20 in my hand. I handed it back. I kept it. So we go into the Christmas party. She says, I know you're going to bring some of those sweet potato pies. So I took $10, went to the store, bought some sweet potatoes, some brown sugar, and made my sweet potato pies, brought them to the club. People said to me, how much are those pies? Nothing. I do this for fun.
Right.
No. What would you charge if you charged?
Right.
I don't know. People started putting money in my hand.
Wow.
And they ate every pie. No, people had bought Entenmann's and Sara Lee. And nobody ate any of that. All they ate was the sweet potato pies. So, like, when in those days you would run 2 or 3 days a week after work. And when's your next run?
Right.
Bring me a pie.
Wow.
So I come back and I have like 3 pies. Oh my God! I heard about you and the pies. You're the pie lady, right? I need a pie. So now every time I went
These
running,
people supposed to be running.
I know.
And
they were that
sweet
day.
Potato pie.
Every time I went to run, I got orders. But in my head, I'm a paralegal.
Right.
This is fun. I'm a paralegal.
Right.
And so the girl that works in the gift shop, God bless her, said to me one day, your pies are so delicious, that cannot be the only thing you make. What else can you do? Make a list and bring it back, and every week I'll order something.